And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us. We are back with the K7 Season 6 playoffs. I am the Madman, joined by my main man, Kamika, and we are at our final match of the season, the Grand Finals, NOLA Flight taking on Final Form. Kamika, how are we feeling?
Oh, it's going to be great. And in fact, we are getting right into it. We are wasting absolutely 0 minutes and 0 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Quick flash of the maps. We're going to be starting off on Hotel, going to Fortress, Expo, Embassy, and then Hotel again if we do get there. So at least one more time before the season ends, Mapman, we will be kicking it at the Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn with Mr. Worldwide. And here it is, presented by Gorilla. We just came off of this map, and it was a big success for Final Form in their previous game, so they're gonna be looking to put another one back to back with it.
Yeah, I mean, besides the S&D, they go quite perfect, you know, through that stay on the Hotel, 3-0 in control, 250 to 222 in hardpoint, and coming off two hard-fought hardpoint victories. Got to be feeling good here heading into map 1.
Definitely. Let's not forget, though, that NOLA Flight, they basically only lost one map at the entire season. Granted, it was to these guys, but they are absolutely disgustingly good. I've casted Shoxy for forever, and he does stuff like that all the time. Put him together with a guy like Big Head and Craze. Oh, it's a recipe for success.
Yeah, and the NOLA Flight boys coming out. They are off to a fast start, and normally you don't get a lot of time off this P1, but they said, hey, if we can get time, why not get it? Already 25 seconds gone for NOLA Flight there on that P1. Now they do go 3 dead here, lose the spawns out for P2. Not a bad start for them, but they got to start thinking about this rotation and how they want to break.
Yep, that's going to be what they're starting to think about. However, NOLA Flight, knowing that they did start with the spawns, they did do at least one good thing, and that is get 30 seconds off of this hill. And that gives them plenty of time to break the next hill and have it not even be worth it for them to hold the spawns for that amount of time. And so as you can see, they're also going to be flipping them out from the spawns as well. Big fight here at the bottom of the map between Dimensions, and he does end up winning that one. Diff is stiff, stuck up there. Dimensions a little bit weak, and will get actually taken down by Cells. So big old fight on this objective, stunned out, and Big Head will get knocked down to size. And wow, this is such a scrap match.
I mean, this is literally as scrappy as it gets, right? I mean, just back and forth, a lot of vacant hill time. But as for now, Final Form in control, winning the gunfights. But just as I say that, a couple kills coming in for NOLA Flight, and the 3 dead in the feed. One more up if they can get him down. But Llama's gonna go huge there for 3 and take the hard point for Final Form. Big Head already here for NOLA Flight on this P3 kitchen, but those last couple seconds of scrap gonna go the way of Final Form, and a lead change as well.
Yeah, man, Llama doing pretty good here, 3 kills in a row, and does net them the lead. However, the rotation will be NOLA Flights on the hill that I would argue it matters the most on. Llama gonna see if he can do the same thing, another kill for him, but unfortunately he's got pretty much no help going on in there. He was putting a lot of faith in his own individual abilities there, but yeah, Final Form a little bit stuck, a little bit separated from each other, whereas NOLA Flight are nice and primed and ready to deal with this kitchen push.
Yeah, but so far just not finding the kills that they need to deal with it, as that is Final Form with the break on in, winning the majority of those gunfights. Now hoping to take the lead back from NOLA Flight here as they go up 52-51. Still 30 seconds to work with left on this hill. A slide in from Dimensions, but just to nothing as 3 beg in the feed. But it is NOLA Flight, and Craze coming in, getting the 2-piece, finding his way onto this hill. The snakes are in, and so is NOLA Flight as the lead right back in their favor. I mean, Kamika, this is a very scrappy map, just back and forth. Already about 4 lead changes here as we're heading into P4.
Yep, P4. Dimensions contesting for the spawns already, and Cell spying towards the top. He's probably going to think that something's awry, and Dimensions turns at the worst time. Turns back around, almost gets Cells. But either way, Final Form now with a pretty good-looking setup here. Enemy are breathing down their neck, though. Good trade-out kill being made there. 1X looking just to get even one more kill for himself, or bait his opponents into where Diff can shoot him, which seems to be what's happening. Diff, there you go, doing good stuff. Sliding around the corner, and Llama gets there as the dust settles. And as the dust settles, he goes even further, making more noise. And oh my goodness, this is what he's been doing the last map, doing it again. Just buying his team some space to get some very much needed time.
You gotta think, you know, NOLA Flight kind of been waiting for little while, right? That was kind of a grueler of a series for Final Form. They get it done in 4, but still a lot of close contested maps. I say is a big 4-piece coming through from NOLA Flight, but you got to think Final Form's probably coming in this one a little hot. NOLA Flight, their first match of the night. They got to get into it. They got to get the gunny warm. And so far, doing a very good job of keeping up, about as even as you can get heading into this restaurant. Let's see who's got the reservation and who's going to take a table first.
Well, table first, definitely going to be Final Form. 1X sitting pretty in this booth, but his teammates are getting just squashed off the offsite positions. Stun doesn't matter to him, trying to turn around and get one onto Krace. Nice snaking maneuver coming out from him. Absolutely disgusting to watch. But, I mean, hey, it pays the bills! And he gets another one onto Shoxy. Full team wipe, looking to extend off the objective since his teammates are there and ready to go. Trying to proxy off Big Head, but, oh my god, it gets absolutely evaporated. And with that, NOLA Flights, only one they have really left to push into is Shoxy.
Yeah, but they do have all players here, so I think they are going to go for at least a little bit of this scrap. That's going to be 6. Still Shoxy fighting for that hill, and he does find the 15 seconds of scrap, which is big because it does put NOLA Flight over that 100-point margin. But look at those P6 rotations. Number 4, that's 1X, already laying in wait, and he finds a big gunfight onto Big Head on the opposite side of the map. And that is going to be control for Final Form here, heading into P6, and Kamika, if they can hold this will be a really big lead for them heading into the second set of rotations.
Yeah, NOLA Flight shelling that last hill out to the second because it's literally on the way to P6 spawns, excuse me. And so, with that little bit of scrap time, they're going to be looking to break around the back and facilitate a break onto the next hill as well. Breaks on breaks is how they like their gameplay here. Oh, unfortunate! So unfortunate there in Dimensions. Literally the worst place grenade I've ever seen this entire tournament. But, man, that was literally the best looking setup that they were going to be getting, and now they're going to have to try again.
I mean, that's Modern Warfare 2 in a nutshell right there. You got exploding cars, mysterious fire extinguishers, but right now it's all purple in the feed. And they do happen to find the 16 seconds of scrap over there on P6, so NOLA Flight not out of this one yet. And Kamika, we know how much success they had off of that P1. If they can find some success again on this P1, they can get themselves right back into that, as that scrap's going to get them to about 125.
Yep, we've seen NOLA Flight get a decent amount of time off this P1 in the past, and so Final Form being here already, going to be trying to stop them if at all possible from that. That's what Llama was trying to do at the very least. Stiff is Stiff, they're all pretty much in a position to be annoying and deny, but at the same time, what their main goal is here is exactly what number 3 is Stiff is doing here, and making sure that they don't lose the spawns above all else. NOLA Flight, though, there are no pushovers, fighting tooth and nail for this hill time, and they're going to force Final Form to fight tooth and nail for it as well.
Yeah, and Dimensions, you know, he started out 9-16, now 14-16 on that 5 streak, looking for the cruise missile. A little bit of a harder map to use it on, but still could be detrimental to the side of Final Form, but right now still not able to find it. But Shoxy will find those kills, and just like we said, Kamika, I mean, they've had success on this P1, and they find it again. Not only that, they find the lead once more. Another lead change here in this already scrappy map 1. The last 4 seconds to go to NOLA Flight. They're over that 170 mark, now finally into P2, but not going to happen as Llama picks up the kill there. But a bad gun switch does give Shoxy the advantage as he takes him out. And now NOLA Flight with control, but only for a second as Final Form flying in.
Yeah, and just like that, Final Form find a way. And NOLA Flight, the unfortunate thing about that kill that Llama just got in Dimensions is that he was literally 1 off the streaks, and so that's a big thing that NOLA Flight could have used in the hills going forward. That is no longer going to be an option for them, especially now that Final Form is getting a whole lot more cohesive, I guess you could say. They're completely wiping the floor with their opponents in the team fights, and they're keeping them nice and separated. Although Shoxy very good in the 1v1 scenarios as well, takes down both Llama and Cells there. So, they do have a rotation, which was pretty key for them the last time at Man, let's not forget. As you can see, this time, Diff is going to be challenging them for it. Doesn't win it, though.
And that's a big win for them because they take Final Form off of that scrap. If Final Form stays on that, they probably get over the 200-point mark, but instead, it's only going to be a bit of a 10-second lead for Final Form, which is immediately going to go away by this uncontested hill time off of a great rotation from NOLA Flight. Diffin Stiff trying to make his way through Freezer, but not going to happen. Shut down by Shoxy. Dimensions as well onto Cells. And now 45 seconds left to work with on this hill. NOLA Flight, another lead change as they have now taken the lead, crossing that 200-point threshold. Maybe three, but not quite as a three-piece coming in from the team of Final Form. Dimensions does find 2 in the feed. Can he pick up the cruise missile? Yes, indeed. Finding the 6th streak there and finding even more time for NOLA Flight. They have to go for this with your Final Form, but you are just getting shredded apart by Dimensions as he continues to cook up in this kitchen.
Dimensions serving him up a cruise missile with a side of cruise missile. Literally already had one by the time he gets another one, but he doesn't care. He's just getting the kills for killing's sake. Just patting his stats, big head. Just bringing more food to the table as well as he puts 2 up. And now Final Form is having the coin flipped on them. Now they are getting slaughtered in the team fights as well. Rotation going to be here. Maybe a little bit of a reset coming in for them, but Dimensions pressuring in the middle of the map. Going to be able to take down 1, and now Shoxy is going to be safe as can be. Should be safe as can be, but Dip is stiff coming in from a different side, and Dimension getting a little bit stuck off the objective here, making himself back into the conversation. Taken down 2. Dip is stiff alone against the world, and all he needs is just a little bit of help, but he will not receive it. This could be the end.
12 streak out of Dimensions there at the final seconds of this hardpoint map. Possibly 10 to go for NOLA Flight. Only 5 now. They might be clear in the feed. 4 down, and NOLA Flight taking map 1 off the back of a Dimensions 12 spree.
Yeah, that's got to be close to a league record, I would think, as NOLA Flight beating Final Form on a map they just had such a good bit of success on. And so, yeah, that might be a little bit of an indicator for how the series is going to go here, Mattman.
I mean, not to mention Shoxy as well, 29 and 19, Dimensions 27 and 21. Ends up going on that 12 streak with 23 non-traded kills. I mean, that is absolutely nutty. And I do agree with you, maybe close to a league record. We'll have to check. I mean, we've already had a league record set tonight by the side of Courtesy and Team Mist, but what a map 1. And for me, Kamika, I mean, the story of that map, I mean, it was so back and forth. It's so scrappy. No team can really get above like a 20-30 second lead. All of a sudden, it's just Dimensions who goes on that streak, man, lays down the law, and they end up just really rallying off of that into that P4. They go on a streak from kitchen to P4, and they end up winning that one 250 to 200. What an ending there for NOLA Flight to go on, and especially a momentum boost heading into map 2.
Yeah, I know that in the beginning I was highlighting Shoxy as well as Big Head as some of the players to look out for, but honestly, I'd be doing this team a disservice by not mentioning every single one of these players as someone to look out for. Obviously, as you can see from Dimensions, he got so many freaking kills there, man. It was ridiculous. Literally one of the biggest difference makers for his team there towards the end, that kitchen hill. They got so much time off that. That's where their lead really started to come from. And then as soon as their opponents tried to get anything off the next hill, Dimensions, he just kept staying there. He prevented them from getting a good setup. Even though the rest of his team was wiped in the moment, he kept getting a kill here, a kill there, keeping them down to 2 people up at a time. And when the rest of his team is collapsing there with him, they had a 4v2 out of nowhere. And Dimensions had a 12 spree. And so, yeah, on your screen now, ladies and gentlemen, is NOLA Flight. Let's take a quick look back at their opponents in Final Form before we get into this next one.
Yeah, I mean, Final Form, you know, they are here. They've made this grand final. Obviously, a great team. Diff, Cells, 1x, and Llama 2x. I mean, we've seen the type of runs that this team can go on. And, I mean, a contested map there. I mean, they had the lead multiple times. I mean, at least 6 or 7 lead changes there in that map 1 hardpoint. And, you know, Llama, multiple 3 pieces, multiple pieces inside that kitchen hill as well. I mean, both teams really on their game in that first hardpoint, but I mean, it is really Dimensions on that 12 spree that I think just makes the difference there in that map. It was the absolute turning point. Like you said, I mean, whole team wiped. It should be Final Form to get in on this hardpoint and tie things up, but it's just Dimensions taking them all down, frying them all up in that back fryer back there in the kitchen. And Chef Dimensions helping them get it done there on map 1. And now, you know, taking back a look at our map set here, we got a little quick peek at it. Now let's take a good gander at this here, you know, heading in to Fortress S&D. We saw the Fortress hardpoint last time with Final Form. How are you feeling heading into this map 2 here on S&D this time?
Well, for NOLA Flight, I'm feeling pretty good. I've seen them absolutely kick butt on this map many, many times, and so I'm feeling good about their chances. They at least played a lot, and this map it's very rigid in how you have to play it. Generally, there's a very select amount of things you can really do. There's a very select amount of bomb sites you can go to, namely one, and so it's really going to come down to who can execute their plays better, who can hit their nade spots better, who can overwatch their way to the bomb better, and who can, I guess, on the defensive side as well as on the attacking side, make a flank that is completely obvious but also unexpected at the same time.
Yeah, and I mean, we know for Final Form that, you know, their advantage in series normally seems like it's coming from the respawns, obviously winning every single respawn against Team Mist, but I mean, that S&D looked rough for the side of Final Form, man. I mean, they get 6-0'd on Hotel, a little bit more of a mixy map, a little bit, you know, more chances to make a little bit of plays happen on this map. But I mean, I definitely got to agree with you. I think I got to give the nod to NOLA Flight here coming into map 2. I mean, just something we already know how good this team is with S&D, and knowing how Final Form performed on their last S&D, I just don't think it's looking good for them heading into map 2.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they don't have the luxury of resting on their respawn laurels like they did up against Team Mist. They won all the respawns, ladies and gentlemen. They got 6-0'd in the Search and Destroy, but it didn't matter. That didn't matter at all because they won the respawns, every single one of them. But again, they're going to have to eventually take one of these Search and Destroys up against the NOLA Flight, no less. So going to be a little bit more of a difficult affair, a little bit more of an uphill battle for them as we get into Fortress, presented by Grilla.
Yeah, and we talked about it just a little bit ago. I mean, such a mixy map, so many kind of opportunities to make plays happen. Take a look at our insights here. That KD from like 1.6 average here in this mode. 1.26, nothing to bat an eye at there for the side of Final Form, but definitely looking at NOLA Flight to have success. Final Form 7-1 on this mode, now 7-2 with that loss earlier, but here we go, map 2 of our grand finals here, $850 cash prize on the line. NOLA Flight coming from that winner's bracket. This is no 2 best of 5s, no best of 7. This is it, and this is for all the money. Map 2 here, I mean, you don't want to let NOLA Flight go up 2-0 here as they already find that first blood. That's Dimensions continuing that absolute momentum from that map 1, and another one to follow up from Big Head, mentioned before, and Kamika, they are starting off hot.
Yeah, the God Hand of Dimensions, still hot and ready to dish out some retribution. Diff is stiff, Soul Survivor. Diff is about to be dead, I do believe. Yes, stuck behind the horse statue, and NOLA Flight just running them down, going for that fast take, testing their opponent's resolve, and they instantaneously broke it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just disrespectful.
Wow. I mean, just trying to wave at him a couple times, get his attention before he puts a couple into his head. Big Head with the Scar shot. Final kill there is NOLA Flight finding the first round on the board. I mean, NOLA Flight has only lost one map, throughout this tournament, and it was to Final Form, but even still already a 3-1 victory in the back pocket for NOLA Flight. You know that's got to start to become a big factor in Final Form's head. And look at this, Kamika, the fast B play out of Final Form here. I kind of like it. Throw your opponent off, but I mean, if you're going to go fast B, go fast B. Don't just get stuck here on P1 and allow NOLA Flight the opportunity to kind of reposition.
Literally what I was about to say. But it appears that it works. NOLA Flight, again, I mentioned this in the beginning. NOLA Flight, they're so used to, from challengers, playing against people that play a certain way. You play like that in challengers, you're going to get caught out. You're going to get punished for it. So NOLA Flight, I'm assuming they probably didn't expect it. And they got the whole map flipped on them, and they didn't even realize that their opponents were sitting ducks, quite literally. And so now Final Form can go for... They actually wrap back around towards A. Shoxy, stuck between a rock and a hard place, runs right in front of Cells. And Final Form, with the most unorthodox of takes, are going to make it work.
I mean, it's like they go for the fake B, and then they wrap back A through the backside, flipping the entire map. I love the plays out of Final Form right here. I mean, you're going up against a Goliath like NOLA Flight. You got to pull out all the stops. It's the grand finals. You got to go for it all. And I mean, a little bit of trickery coming out of the side of Final Form. And just like I said, Kabaka, I like it coming out of them.
Yeah, I love it. I always love seeing the little unorthodox strategies that they catch your opponents completely off guard, and they make you look like an absolute genius when it happens. So, Llama going a little bit up on site. This is something that you usually get for free if you're NOLA Flight. Unfortunately, he makes his presence a little bit known, so they're going to be cautious as they approach the site. Know the map in the meantime. Shoxy, not so cautiously approaching the site, was 1x, and now they know exactly where Llama 2x is. So they're going to look to make an approach together, pitching out the two people on the objective, and that is an easy take on the A site.
I mean, one thing I noticed there, I mean, and I don't know if you can attest to this, is Stiff does find one here. I mean, would be the 1v4 A's. Not sure if it's going to happen for him, but it does seem like when one player is kind of firing off shots towards one of the NOLA Flight boys, I mean, they kind of react a lot faster. They play each other's trades very, very well, and they're very quick to react to those gunfights. But it seems like when Final Form has a player go down, they're not quick on the reach out. They're a little afraid to lose numbers. I'd like to see them be a little more aggressive in the sense of their trades, playing off of their players. I mean, if you guys take a gunfight, you know you got them weak, send a full health guy out there, finish that kill off, and give yourself an advantage in the round. You don't want to turtle down, and, you know, there's a difference between aggression and, you know, not letting a team bully you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I definitely see that in some parts. I think the main issue for Final Form in that one was that they were trying to be aggressive in there, but they did it sloppily. They made instead of sitting behind the door and waiting for someone to come on out and have an easy kill on them, he instead took a peek inside, took a lot of health damage, and then the play was made a little bit more obvious to NOLA Flight, and they could react to it accordingly. And so, now, we're going to be seeing Llama 2x instantaneously taken off the board, and NOLA Flight feet on the bomb again.
And again, in a life advantage situation, you know, up 3v2, now in 3v1, Cells will find a trade there, so now 1v2 Dimensions, though, gonna peek him out of this back corner. And I mean, Dimensions is having himself a series, man. I mean, he goes on that 12 streak, 5-1 here, starting off this map 2 S&D. And NOLA Flight, I mean, looking like the Goliaths that we know they are. And we talked about it. I mean, it was going to be a great losers finals between Final Form and Team Mist, but we said, did one of these teams really have the strength to knock off a Goliath like NOLA Flight? And it was just really hard for us to say yes, and you're kind of seeing why.
I told you it's hard for me to say yes, especially with Dimensions still looking real nice with it. 4-kill streak now, looking to get streaks in the Search and Destroy as well. He's going on a streak, I guess you could say. Trophy system is going all over the objective, going for the 2-man take, nading out for the suppression, and Shoxy in the middle of the map, going to look to kill him with the stun grenade. That'd be pretty cool, not quite. Either way, bomb plant is going to be down successfully, and NOLA Flight can now play on the defense.
I mean, and that's just immediate pressure put on a Final Form, right? I mean, you think you got a lot of time to work with in the round, but already look up at the clock, 30 seconds left to find these players or find a defuse here, and it's a 4v4 retake, so this is a lot of spots that you've got to check, a lot of places that you're not maybe going to exploit players. Cells does find that first blood very, very late into the round, but immediately traded back with one onto Llama there, so 18 seconds left to define the fuse. Final Form looking like they're struggling here. Oh my god. Craze just hiding in the bush like he's playing Fortnite. What is this? NOLA Flight finding their 4th round, man, and that's just dirty out of Craze.
I know, literally saw him the whole time. Dude, that is scary stuff from Crazy. Give him a little bit of a jump scare there. I'm sure they're like, whoa, where'd this guy come from? He was hiding in the bush. Must have been wearing some pretty good camouflage there. Either way, NOLA Flight going to be looking to really run away with the Search and Destroy. Not really a surprise considering Final Form's last Search and Destroy performance, but I mean, hey, at least they're doing better than their last one up against Mist. We'll say that.
I was about to say, I don't think they could have done worse as long as they won one round. Getting 6-0'd, are down 4-1 here, but like you said, do it better than the last time, so that's all you can hope for, but the bad news for them is you gotta win this map or you're about to be down 2-0
so close.
Here in this grand finals, and he does get finally shot out there. The bullets coming through, and Shoxy finally finding that kill there. I mean, 7-3 to him. I mean, Kamika, this is just absolutely crazy numbers out of NOLA Flight right now. 6-1 from Dimensions, and Shoxy 7-3.
Look at this, though. We've got a little bit of a straggler making his way on through. Dip is stiff, gonna be right behind their entire setup. Gonna see Craze takes a shot, takes him down, and Dimensions falls very shortly after. This is 100% doable for Final Form. Unfortunate thing is that Shoxy got a big kill, and that was the bomb carrier, but Cells offs him completely, and so now they know they have a free site, but do they rotate? Oh, they were thinking about it, but Dip is stiff in the middle of the map, gonna look for the rotation instead. They've got the bomb site, they gotta plant it.
Big head here. Now stuck in the 1v2. And Final Form Form's got a good setup here. The shots coming in from Big Head are good. The reach out, though, and a perfectly played trade from Final Form there to even things up a little bit. Still down 4-2, but life here in map 2 at a Final Form.
And yeah, that did look a lot better from Final Form. They seem to be definitely paying attention to the things that went right and wrong in the last rounds, what their opponents are doing right, what they were doing wrong, and what they want to replicate from themselves. And so, yeah, generally you figure that out in around the first 3 rounds of a Search and Destroy in my experience, but it can be very difficult to pin down some strategies from NOLA Flight, especially when they've been, executing it so well every single time.
But a big first blood there from Diff is Stiff, so Final Form again now with an advantage in the round. Big Head has picked up that bomb once more. NOLA Flight here trying to even things
Great
up.
angle
That
work.
is Big Head, and that's a beautiful kill. But they are a little bit trapped here. A bomb kind of stuck over in this corner. You see 5 and 8. That's 1x and Cells in a pretty good position to make a play here. But look at this from Shoxy, the sneaky man that he is, finding the kill there. A good trade from Cells here, though. 2v2.
Yeah, and they know their target. Cells gets away, kind of. Shoxy gonna.
Oh!
So unlucky. I think he gets caught in the window. So unlucky. But teammate gonna be picking up the return frag. 4 kills in a row now for Cells. He's gonna have to go huge up against. Yes, there you go. The mantle into the kill. Well played. Expects the run up, and Final Form will be only 1 round away from catching NOLA Flight now.
Such a big round coming up, too. I mean, the difference between tying it up 4-4 and what would be the 3rd round in a row for Final Form kind of hitting a stride here. Being down 4-1. And NOLA Flight finds this one. They put us on map point. And they'd be 1 round away. Pushing Final Forms back right up against the wall. They would take the lead 2-0 in the series.
Big thing as well. If Cells can open up with a kill here. Let's get a look at Cells. We need to see if he can do it. This would be extra huge. He's gonna have an opponent right up against him. Oh, he also does have to overwatch the bomb, so he's in a little bit of a sacrificial lamb mode. Oh, great nade coming in! Great 3 nades coming in! Well thrown by NOLA Flight. They've definitely planned that. And so all that's left is Diff is Stiff alone against the world. Can he get the ace? He's stuck behind the truck. They know exactly where he is. They're all aiming down towards him. Diff is Stiff is stuck. And NOLA Flight will get back on the saddle, get themselves on the map point.
Cloudy with a chance of frag grenades. 3 different players all finding simultaneous nades there. That is incredible teamwork and comms from NOLA Flight. I have not seen anything like that all year long, at least from games that I've personally been involved with casting. I've seen some great nade plays, but that is one of the better ones. NOLA Flight finding map point. And Kamiko, what a play out of NOLA Flight there.
I was shocked at the fact that they were each able to get a kill with a grenade, basically, dude. That is special. Llama gonna pull out the sniper, trying to get a little bit of an extra kill threat here, which is definitely what they need. But unfortunately, the util from NOLA Flight is just a little bit too good. They force him off. They have no trophy systems to speak of whatsoever. So he's just gonna get bullied right off the angle. NOLA Flight, easy bomb plant.
Easy bomb plant. Already found the first blood as well, like you said, and 30 seconds left. Gotta find the defuse here. It's gonna be NOLA Flight up 2-0, already in a 4v2 advantage. Llama taking shots from the side, top rails there. Cells goes down, and that will be the final one. NOLA Flight up 2-0 in the grand finals. Looking for the clean sweep. Things get a little hairy there. A couple rounds out of Final Form, but in the end, NOLA Flight just too much. Too hot to handle right here. They take the 2-0 lead, and Kamika, I mean, now heading into control, all momentum with NOLA Flight, and I don't want to get the brooms out too early, but it is looking like a clean sweep for NOLA Flight.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Final Form still has another form to go. Otherwise, they're going to be straight out of luck up against NOLA Flight tonight, especially since we're going into Expo, a map that is quite a lot different than playing Hotel. They did great on Hotel, but Expo is a little bit of a different beast altogether, and I'm probably thinking in my mind that NOLA Flight probably picked this map, right? It's a little bit, I mean, how could you not pick Hotel if you were Sorry, if you were Final Form. You just did so good on it, must NOLA Flight banned it. But I'm sure that NOLA Flight playing in Challengers, this is a map that I see quite a lot in Challengers and high-level Call of Duty. People, they love to get really good at it. I see a lot of really high-level teams. A new map comes out, they're like, okay, this is going to be our map. And I know that Shoxy does that a lot too, except in the old Modern Warfare he made a mode. He's like, we're going to be the best control team. They didn't lose a single control game. And now, I'm sure it wouldn't surprise me if he was like, all right, we're going to be the best Expo team. and they wouldn't lose a single Expo map. But maybe you can attest to that a little bit, Matt, man. I know you're a little bit familiar with these guys, right?
Yeah, you know, me and Simon NOLA Flight being some great organization over here. I mean, obviously, don't want to go too biased. Final Form has been amazing tonight, and obviously put up some kind of close contested games, making that one, winning a couple rounds in a row there. Obviously, passing that 200-point mark in the hard point, making it to this grand finals alone, a great accomplishment. But, you know, this NOLA Flight team has gone up against some of the best in the challenger scene, Orbit, GG, Boston Academy, and won against a lot of these teams, you know, unfortunately falling short in their run to Challengers Champs, not quite qualifying. They fall top 3, but heading into here, you know, this might be their last time getting to play together, so you know that they want to come out, at least for this season on Modern Warfare 2, so you know they want to come out hot, they want to come out with a bang and go out with a bang, if you will. And NOLA Flight, I mean, they're looking so good. And to go what you said with the Expo, I mean, it's a map that we've seen them pick kind of multiple times throughout this tournament, throughout this season in the K7 League, and as well, like you said, in Challengers. It's just a map that, you know, they feel comfortable with. They, you know, have obviously had a lot of success on, and it wouldn't be a surprise to me here if, you know, if they come out and get the 3-0. I mean, the Final Form was the only